Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Good to be here. It is July 10th.
10th.
Woo! Friday after the 4th of July, which was wild, crazy, good stuff all over the country. I know I want to hear all about what you saw floating past Sandy Hook area. We watched the whole thing. I think from our backyard, there were 17 different major fireworks shows that went on for like an hour and a half. And then the rest of the country, holy smokes, literally smokes. And then this week, there's some stuff going on with the copier world. There's stuff going on in the robot world. There's all sorts of goodies. Oh, and like was it last night? Big stuff, I think. I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. ChatGPT is announcing some big releases that are putting other companies out of business
Really?
because, well, yeah, because they wrapped their solutions around an LLM and a G. It's the same old story. They wrap it around something, and then the something brings out a application that does what it does naturally. Anyway, um, Art's here and Kevin is here. We expect maybe a few more guests to show up. How are you, Art?
Doing well. Get back in the swing of things, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah.
crazy week this week. A little slow, a little busy. I was hoping to get a DocuSign order in today, but I think that's going to pass until Monday. Seems that by Tuesday, I should at least have my quota in for the month. So that's
That's good.
nice.
That's real good.
Yeah, I don't have to stress about it. I don't know why after 46 years I still stress about it, but it's the nature of the beast, I guess.
If you didn't stress, you didn't care.
Guess so, right? When it
Yeah.
comes down to sales, um, it's all about desire.
Art, we've always had a saying we tell reps, we'd say the chair you're sitting in is for rent and the rent is due every day.
It's a good saying. And how many musical chairs has those chairs played?
Well, it makes them realize they need to think on their feet because if you sit down too long, you're not going to get rent paid.
How true.
Welcome to the real world. Yep. Kevin, what's new with you?
I tell you what, I'm just like trying to think of the right song like Mellow Yellow, or I'm just rolling right along. Everything's going at today's crisis in the last hour is I just sent to a big oil company the wrong product,
Okay.
which was late getting there, which I had trouble sourcing.
That's like double
And,
whammo.
and then I did a really
Yeah.
good job of making sure it wasn't right. So that was beautiful. Then,
Excellent.
yeah. And then I ordered a large order of equipment, and it appears that that's going to be a problem. And so I got three people running around with, whenever you see administrators flapping their hands with paper in their hands, waving their arms
Oh,
like they're trying to take flight, you know what I mean?
run. Yeah, I
Y-
do, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late in the day for donuts, so I don't know what to do now. So I'm just kind of hanging low in my little spot here, like trying to, stay under the radar, under the stealth, and say, wait until you hear the next big thing I got to come up with that you don't know about yet. So everybody's barking. So I think if everybody's just a little bit uncomfortable, that's a good way to have the office.
I believe, I agree with that. A little tense is good. Tense
Hmm.
in 10 city. Intensity
Yep.
in 10 cities. Ted Nugent.
I'm all day.
And you only got a couple hours to go, so
Yeah,
everybody can wind down a little bit.
well, I'm going to guess the way, by the nature of the temperature that I'm looking out there at, they're not going to make it a couple hours, Art. I think they're going to be dead here in just a real short period of time. And I better put the sign back up that says help wanted, help needed, help nowadays,
Help
help
needed.
needed.
Or help me.
Help me, please.
But other than that, that's really good because other people are, I'm getting results through others, and that's always a good thing.
That's good. Yeah.
Well,
Good
you
for
know
you.
what they say? They say surround yourself with good people and you'll always get shit done.
Hmm.
So, first piece of news. Let's talk
Yes.
about Loeffler.
Who?
Who?
What?
Huh?
Who?
Who?
Probably the biggest acquisition in quite some time, right?
Yeah, I didn't do the research, but I think the numbers are pretty big. I mean, Loeffler is on one of I think it's considered a mega. I could be wrong.
Well, I would consider it a mega now.
But
I mean, they acquired, I think Fisher was $180 million in revenue.
oh,
Yeah, I don't have my
okay.
chat GBT notes up, but Fisher Technology, 90-year-old company headquartered in Boise, Idaho, with 4 locations in Idaho, 6 locations in Montana. one in Spokane and 3 in Utah. They're closing in on Nebraska, I guess.
What's that?
Loeffler.
What about them?
Are you familiar with Loeffler in your area?
No.
Okay.
Where are
So
they at?
you heard Loeffler, I think, is based in, Craig, correct me wrong. Are they in Minnesota
I think
or somewhere in the Midwest?
They're somewhere
What
in
are
the
they going to do in
Midwest.
Nebraska?
They bought Fisher's Technology.
Oh, they did?
And Fisher's
Yeah.
Technology has offices. I guess the closest one to you would be Utah.
Uh,
But it seems like Loeffler is looking to garner a larger geo area than they already had. Greg, were you able to look at anything on Loeffler?
Not between the meetings and this one, no. I mean, I could. I don't want to do it now. I'll crash.
I can.
Yeah, I'm looking at my old. I mean, they've been part of our AI discussions for months, or maybe even years now. So there's plenty of history of us talking about them.
Loeffler companies,
Taking too long.
where are they located? Managed services, copiers, NSIT.
Wait a minute. Don't we know someone? Oh,
Here it is, St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Locations in Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and they have a location in Nebraska. Kevin,
we're at Nebraska. Doesn't say.
it says, doesn't say. Wait, here we go. Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa. They're in Omaha,
Huh. I've never
Yes.
ran into them.
West Dodge Road.
West Dodge Road? Okay.
You know where that is?
100%.
Okay. All right.
I'm out there a couple times a week. What do they sell?
Everything. You mean what brands?
I mean, like, they like big into Ricoh, or they love Canon, or they love office furniture and sell copiers as a side hustle, or
the other way, hardware, and then branched into. I think they did the same thing: managed IT, et cetera, et cetera. But copiers.
what do you think is going to happen to these companies that are all hanging out there on the managed IT side, on the light side, we'll call it,
Yeah.
and AI is just going to come in here and just literally in a day take them all out?
I think you pretty much summed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, even the megas, they $1 million, multi-million-dollar knocks and socks or whatever the heck they're called. Did that looking at managed IT services in a big way, and it could have been, but you're right, AI's cutting all that down and out.
This is interesting. It says the revenue is about 150 million. Revenue per employee is 575K. I had a bigger number on Fisher's when I did research on it.
Yeah, these numbers, you know how it is, right? None of it's public.
Correct.
You go to ENX, I've got the list. The ENX list has what they say it is. It's just a barometer. Interesting though. Yeah, 500 employees, good size. Minolta, Konica, Canon and Konica. This report's 136 million. Canon,
So-
Konica, Minolta, Xerox now, and Lexmark, HP.
Yeah, they're
FP
just
Mailing.
about everybody, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
Wait
But some
a
of
minute.
that they're putting through the managed IT, I guess.
Well, not FP Mailing. HP's probably just HP printers. I don't. GBC, aren't those finishing machines? Art?
They
Yeah.
can be finishing machines and they can also be just binders
Yeah.
and shredders.
Well, Jim Loeffler moved June 25th. He became the founder and chairman, while James Loeffler became president and CEO. I remember seeing that announcement come through. The president moved off to become a chairman, and then the son took
Right.
over. And then July 7th, the announcement came down.
Right.
Very interesting.
So let's see.
So-
Fisher's is Canon. We'll wait for Canon. Canon, lots of Canon pages. Konica
200.
Minolta
200 employees, 14 locations.
revenue.
One, don't know.
So that brings them up to, I guess, almost 700, 800 employees
Yeah, I have that. Yeah. Well,
Well,
for now.
for now. Right. It's interesting.
Idaho.
So the other acquisition was Dex, and Dex purchased New England, was it New England Copy Systems? I think they
think it
still
is.
go by.
Yeah.
And I believe New England Copy Systems was a smaller dealer. I think they were about 48 million in revenue.
Right. Yeah.
So I wonder, it makes me wonder why they sold. Makes me wonder why both companies sold.
Yeah,
I
they
can
seem
give
to
you a
get
little
it.
bit of an idea.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe it's because these companies have self-funded retirement programs for their employees, and those employees are getting all ready to mature out. And if these companies have a bunch of people that have all been in the company as long as the chairman, meaning they're all on short time, that company's going to go broke trying to just do disbursements of all of that um, owed money. So they need to sell to a bigger company that can absorb that component in their model.
It's good
So
enough
you have
theory to
200
start.
employees. You have
Yeah.
200 employees, and you have an average tenure of 20 years because a lot of them didn't leave.
Yep.
That means they're all at an age where they're timing out or coming up on a timing out. And an actuarian somewhere in an accounting firm had told the owners, said, "You have a storm of brewing on the horizon, sir, because they're all going to start taking disbursements from this retirement. Imagine one for one or whatever was originally set up, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And next
Mm-hmm.
thing you know, that owner's like, rut-row." So, like the guy that one second one you talked about, he moved his son up to president or whatever, chair of the company, because that puts him in a Title IX or a um, highly compensated employee part of for taxing. So when he gets his disbursement from the acquisition, he'll be in that category where he won't be penalized for having been there that long. But I could be wrong.
It's a good theory. I mean, we don't know for sure. I think though, but Dex bought their way out. I think privately. I think. You know what? I don't know. There's a lot of rigmarole going on with the VC and the PE and all that was occurring with Dex.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
but
don't
think
know
about how
about
many
the other one.
companies have employees that say a
Oh
year,
yeah.
2 years, 3 years. They put some money into the plan, and that money's not going to be touched for a very long period of time. That's like all the people that are running around with the gift cards in their billfold that have $7 on them, you know. So it's going to take a bigger company to absorb that exposure. Because if you said, okay, 30% of my workforce is going to be timing out in the next 5 years, where am I going to come up with this capitalization? Although they have been putting it back,
Yeah.
accruing it, but come on.
But if you look at Loeffler's from, I mean, the numbers we're seeing, they weren't that much bigger than Fisher's revenue wise.
Hmm.
I mean, a couple of years ago, Fisher's was at ECS, and they were on
That's right.
there was they had some type of talk track about dealers and what they're going to do in the future. What their future aspirations are, and Fisher's is actually up there. So
Yeah,
Well, we'll
could it
see.
be
and
could it be that
maybe
maybe
the upcoming generations just don't want to do the business.
the desire is waning, right? Print
Yeah,
volumes are down, desire is waning. Maybe the offer was too good to pass up.
That's the same thing with my dad. When everybody expected that I was going to take his place and his stuff. And I told him, I said, "Do you realize ever since a kid, I've been doing this job unknowingly, sitting at the table, listening to every
hmm
conversation, going to every meeting. Did, you know, I've got 15 years in already, and I'm 20 years old.
Huh.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it doesn't just the next generation doesn't necessarily have to be held accountable to the father's decisions.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. There was another article in here. Ricoh sold off their Ricoh 3D printing endeavor.
They had one?
They had one. They sold it to healthcare business. So it was agreed to sell the Ricoh 3D for health. That's what it was called. Ricoh's 3D for healthcare business as part of its ongoing portfolio optimizing strategy. The divestiture allows Ricoh to sharpen its focus on core growth areas, which include digital services, workplace solutions.
Okay, now Art, help me out on this one. Wasn't it just a few years ago when Fuji came in with a great big bang? They were going to just wipe out everybody in production color, and I mean, they had the beginning and the end of all wonderfulness. And then I just read something where they're selling off all of these parts of that. Is that correct?
Fuji, I didn't see that. So that would be news to me.
Yeah, I mean, at my age, I don't take any responsibility for myself, but I do remember, I just thought I just read something and thought, that's weird that Fuji would be eliminating that part of their business when that was what their mainstay was.
Yeah, production.
Yeah.
Not
I mean, look,
sure. I mean, I
oh,
could see if it was grand format or large wide format, but
let me crack that open and see if I'm even
yeah.
talking
I
about
think there
something.
was something. It's touching a nerve somewhere in my brain,
I
but I
just
wouldn't have paid
recently
attention to it.
read a press release from them not more than 2 weeks ago. I think we spoke about the machine.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking or remembering.
I'm just trying to go over any more interesting news. Sharp and Han Hai target AI server growth with an estimated 300 billion revenue.
What? What?
Yeah.
Chips?
Target AI server growth. Foxconn.
Foxconn.
Foxconn is Han Hai,
Okay. Yep.
and that's Tony Gao. I call him the Trump of Asia.
Where did we see Tony Gao? Didn't we see him somewhere? Wasn't
He
he
was in
live
the
somewhere?
news well quite a few years ago when they were
Yeah.
trying to get in the acquisition of Sharp.
Right.
Sharp plans to participate in the WETRA SoftBank domestic AI initiative backed by the Japanese government.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So,
Kind of watch that. That's interesting.
so why this matters? It's another sign that traditional imaging manufacturers are rapidly evolving into broader technology companies. So Sharp is no longer, I'm trying to read through the lines here, focusing solely on printers, displays, and MFPs. It's making AI infrastructure a core group engine now.
So Sharp is going to kind of yield itself on the making the machines.
No,
I don't know. They're the AI servers. I think that's, but they're partnered with.
look at what else Sharp makes. I mean, damn, they
They
make
make.
they make rice cookers.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
Maybe
make
they're just
microwaves.
going to
consumer
get into the
goods.
rice cooker
That's
business.
right.
I've been in their facilities, and there was actually a guy that was taking a certain model of a Sharp microwave and was testing how many kernels didn't pop at the end because some consumer had written in and complained about buying this microwave and it didn't do nearly as good a job at making popcorn, and they were actually writing an assessment on it. I
They
thought,
responded
okay,
to my letter.
yeah, they did. Yeah.
That's incredible.
You
I hate
you
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool, counting all the kernels.
Yeah,
That's,
they were counting. I was just like standing with my mouth open. I was like, okay, this can't even be happening, right? This was in Chicago, yeah.
that's a good day job.
But I think their core company also makes the iPhone, don't they? The actual
Yeah,
hardware,
yeah, they do. Yep,
Oh,
yep.
Foxconn.
The
Yeah,
screens.
that's.
the
Oh,
screens.
Yeah, yeah, they're big into the screens. Yep. I think one of Apple's largest providers for screens.
Okay, let's get this out of the way. Fujifilm is not doing what I said. They're actively expanding, but there's activity in their non-cut sheet and their roll where they're making some changes in that area right there,
Got it.
dang.
but
I
not on
hadn't
the
even,
cut sheet.
not the cut sheet, but the rolls, which that's a whole nother market. I didn't even know Sharp was up there.
No, this is
That's
Fuji.
amazing. Oh, okay.
I jumped in. I'm sorry, I interjected before I forgot about it. I didn't want to
Yeah.
leave a rumor
And
out there that was completely dismissed.
no, we don't want to do
No,
that.
Sharp's not in that. They
Okay.
are up into production, but
Fuji.
they're yeah.
So
Well,
another piece of news. Remember a couple of weeks ago when we spoke about the Kyocera buying back their stock?
yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Article in here that Rico completes initial phase of 25 billion share buyback.
Okay.
So they repurchased 4.5 million shares. News is a little low in May, but it just hit the news basically a couple of weeks ago.
All right.
So basically, share buybacks to reduce the number of shares outstanding, which can improve earnings. Hey, Kevin, did I read something that Kevin, Xerox released the dividend at $25
I actually heard something about that as well.
to preferred shareholders and
Yes.
something
Yeah.
else.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, that's a lot of cabbage.
It sure is for a company that
Doesn't
doesn't
have a lot of cabbage.
doesn't have a lot of cabbage.
But have you noticed on the other side of this whole conversation how many people are retiring or leaving Xerox and thanking them or whatever, and they're taking off?
Yeah.
Either they were given an internal message that they don't like, or they decided a buyout or whatever. That dividend could be coming because of the fact that they're weaning that workforce at a pretty high rate. There's
Okay.
still something that hasn't been disclosed yet.
Well, their stock has been
Well,
taking a beating in the last couple of weeks.
yes, it has
Yeah.
down
Hmm.
25%.
Yep.
Ever since we bought $1,000 worth of stock.
Well, that's okay.
So,
You're gonna have the profit takers come in and out of there. That's just going to be a given. I mean,
so
anybody that can three times their money, and you bought it, yeah, you're gonna sell it. It doesn't matter if it says $1 or $1,000. You
Well,
know.
that's what I'm waiting for.
here's what the news says. The news says on the common stock, they released a dividend of 2.5 cents,
All
right?
right.
But the board
First,
also declared a quarterly dividend of $20 per share for outstanding Xerox Holdings Series A convertible.
I don't
What
know
is
what that is.
perpetual preferred stock?
So they're rewarding the long-term investors.
Okay.
I
Which could
guess
be
so.
their employees, right? Leaving. I mean, some of them
100%.
could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But how many
Or
shares are there?
what they're doing is those are compensation plans or exit plans. They're just taking out in stock.
Hmm.
So they're paying off these employees with stock dividends so that they claim they release dividends, big dividends. But
See,
it's really right.
a company's really at
Okay.
risk when you get down to where you're paying $1 or $1.50 for a share. They're really exposed. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the amazing thing about Apple is how they were. Nobody looks at the fact that he was down there in the fires of hell because anybody could afford it. You
Right.
know, not that they were
Nobody
wanting to
did.
buy it, but they could afford it, right? You know,
Right.
like somebody like Tesla and those companies, I've got a lot of their stock, but it's at 325. I've got Berkshire Hathaway that's I've inherited that I'll never be able to sell
Right.
because of the tax on it. You know,
Oh yeah.
those that's just a long-term loan. But when you're down to $1.50, $1.25 a share, you're vulnerable because anybody in the world could go buy it, and then you don't then suddenly 12% share or percentage of ownership in a company, you're the major shareholder.
Yeah. Art, how many shares are outstanding?
I just got it, brought it up. Xerox Holding has 180,000 shares of Series A convertible perpetual voting preferred stock outstanding.
Wait a minute.
They share.
180,000?
That's not right.
That's what it was.
180,000, that's it?
Series A.
Oh, Series A. Okay.
Series
Okay.
Okay.
So those are
A.
the employees.
Those are the
No,
ones that they're paying $20 per share.
Got it. All
they're
right.
the ones they're keeping. Okay.
But it also
Right.
says these shares pay a quarterly dividend of $20 per share and are convertible into approximately 6.7 million shares of common stock.
There we
So
go.
basically, they didn't give them any money. They,
Well,
they just gave out
Adding
another
more stock.
6.7 million shares of common stock.
Right. That's what they're telling you. They said I'd rather owe you than beat you out of it.
yeah. It's man. What was
So
that phrase?
everybody
So and
got
so
$2
Xerox loves Blue
times
Star.
$2 times 16, 6.5 million dollars, $13 million it cost them in stock.
So I'm wondering how many outstanding shares there are at a buck or 250 right now. I mean, how much would it take for
Oh,
someone to
there's got to be
spend that?
millions.
Right, but what fool in a lot of money can go in there and get 12% of a company or
Right.
5% of a company? I
Well,
mean,
Icon did at one point, remember?
mhm.
That's how I gained control of that company. It happens all the time where they come in and jump on
Right.
it, and next thing you know, there's a new sheriff
So
in town.
so you got to believe icons and those guys like that have been analyzed Xerox as that type of opportunity just at the price, and then when they peel away the layers, they're going, no, 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 we don't want to,
Right.
right? Or they already would have. I'm guessing. I'm totally
I would
guessing.
speculate the same direction.
Shit.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
kind of rooting for Xerox.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but the thing is, did you notice the most scary thing about that release of those unified products?
No,
No one
no,
did.
no, no. I didn't even know they had unified products. Go on, tell me
Yeah,
more.
they came out with the unified products. Now they're some of the Xerox people were trying to gaslight everybody with how great this was going to be. When I asked them what's the benefit to the customer, they all disappeared because that memo hasn't came out yet. But there's something in there that is really telling to me, and that is if you look at the security numbers on what those machines have in them, in their
Yeah.
IQ of those machines, it's far beyond anything Japan Inc. has got.
Oh,
It literally represents the next generation of devices. So they're building a bigger plan here. I mean,
And
I
You're
don't
that's
talking
think.
about
what,
Xerox. You're talking
I'm
about
talking about
Xerox.
Xerox. Oh yeah, 100%. The reason I don't think that they're talking about it is I don't think they have the infrastructure in place yet to release it, to disclose the big plan.
Well, what could the bigger what theory, pure fiction? What could the bigger thing be?
Well, pretty soon, what's going to happen here very shortly is we're going to see the Japan ink machines not being accepted in any of the deals.
Security?
They got holes. They got holes in the security. You can breach them too easily. We've already sat in on discussions, and the insurance company was in the meeting. How many calls have you ever been on when the insurance company is sitting in the meeting, dictating the meeting?
That's got to be the second worst to attorneys.
It is because they're the ones holding the bag.
Yeah.
So if your product doesn't have certain levels of SSLs and other, I won't say what they are. If it doesn't have those things in the machine, then you're not even at the table. And I've just noticed all the things that the new Xeroxes are having, and it's weird because there's been no public outcry. Normally, you see Japan Inc. do the same thing over and over and over, right?
Right.
They're all Me Too's. But all of a sudden, Xerox comes out with a complete departure on what they're doing, and it's like bird chirps because I think they're keeping it just low and slow until they get the other parts put together. Hey, Kev.
Hey, Cav, how
Hi,
are you?
Kevin.
well,
I was
these,
hoping you weren't going to involve Greg on our discussion about the things we were talking about yesterday because he wouldn't have been able to make it to the meeting because he would have agreed with both points.
Absolutely. The desired outcomes, right? That's
I
the
don't
important thing.
I don't think Greg knows what we're talking about, but he would
I
agree
have
with
no
me.
clue what you gentlemen are speaking of.
The right journey, the right journey. You have to go you have to go look at our little chat on LinkedIn there. I,
Oh,
I poked him a little bit
I'm not on LinkedIn.
in a friendly kind of way.
Yeah,
so
intellectually.
'That's good.
131 million shares of common stock.
That's
Okay,
more like it. I
131
can buy
million
that.
shares. All
Yeah.
right,
So they
times
just added
two down.
another. It just added another 6.7 million shares to that.
If they convert it over, which they will. So times 225 is how much money to own 10% of that. That's the math that would be.
275 million.
Yeah.
Chump change.
Then take across
Dex can do that.
take their debt away, which is over
Oh.
$1 billion.
We're not talking debt. Kevin, we were just talking about Xerox. We're beating Xerox up. Except for Kevin Fry says that we might have that Xerox has like he's alluring to a Skunk Works project.
I believe it.
Have you looked
I believe
at Kevin? I'm not really too crazy about machines. We don't get excited about machines, right? But I did
No.
flip over the brochure on that new machine, and when you look at the security uh, stack on that machine, it's definitely gearing for something completely different than what
Mhm.
we're looking at.
Yeah, we talked about it, I think, a week or two ago, and the
Yeah.
specs weren't talking feeds and speeds. They were talking different kinds of stuff. At the
Yeah,
very bottom, there was a
yeah,
pages per
yeah,
minute kind of thing, but it was about security and interoperability and a lot of stuff that we've been talking about.
yeah,
Integration.
You know
yeah.
what? And I've kind of changed. I haven't changed my mind, but I'm kind of leaning because this all the security stuff. Kevin, you're not gonna like this, but all that security crap that's associated with printers is like, yeah, no one cares. No one's gonna break in. I've never heard of anything big happening except for the Stuxnet in Iran coming in through a printer or
Oh,
the plastic.
yeah.
Hang on. But I've changed my mind.
Oh, okay.
What I'm
Okay.
trying to get at, and what's changing my mind is the interoperability. What we're talking about, right? Because now, and I know, ooh, you're dumb, Greg. They're all entry points now, but now they're more entry points than they ever were before, right?
Mhm.
Before it's like someone like me saying, well, who's going to break into my account I don't have any super secrets at all, like stealth technology or quantum, right? But now it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It's just the device itself or whatever the point itself is a collection of a billion points that can be used to do something else. Okay. So when I hear this thing about Xerox and everyone talk about security, yeah, I think it's really going to be a much bigger issue because of AI and the interoperability and how the Internet of Everything is going to be connected. But I also believe that something's going to come up to fix that. What? But something, right? It might
Agree.
be a blockchain individually. I don't know. But so I've changed my mind a little bit on that. I think that could be a real live attack vector. And then I'm really leaning more on the regulations and governance and rules and regs and
Wow.
guardrails.
All right.
But
Wow.
listen to why. Because actually, I'm encouraging everyone to put up guardrails, to put up rules, to do regulations, because then now the AI purists have something to fight against. And that will cause synergy and heat and create diamonds. So I don't believe right now, I'm still in the mode that, you know what, it's like attaching a 1,200-mile long chain on the Santa Maria. It would, that's all you're going because you're going to fall off the edge,
Well,
right?
Greg,
Whatever.
Kudos to you for your thinking because there's no right or wrong in all of this, right? There's extremes that are extremely too governed, and then there's total loosey goosey, right? And probably it's right in the middle that where everybody needs to be, right? You can't be over-regulated, but you can't be under-regulated. You can't be too secure or insecure, right? So there's a trade-off,
Well,
there's a
I agree with that, but again, my motivation is if they wouldn't have taxed our tea, we wouldn't be the United States of America.
there you go.
So
There you go.
if you wouldn't have
Unintended consequences.
if you wouldn't have tried to shut down my LLM and I fought that, then we wouldn't have the next 23
Yeah.
stages afterwards. So yeah, bring up the boundaries. Let's go to war. That's what,
It,
because right now we're not really going to war.
yeah.
We're not fighting over it. You got to get in there and fight.
Yeah, and that's when you get good outcomes, when you have a good debate. Hey, and just one thing about printer security.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't convinced either. Then I read Wikipedia about printer nightmare. So just go read about print night. I think it was printer nightmare or print nightmare, one or the other. But it was print drivers got exploded, and it's true. And it has facts and numbers and the number of machines and the number of dollars. And this was what kind of drove WPP. So
I get it.
Did
Well,
did you
and
did you read the article about this 12-year-old kid that wanted this one person to win this popularity vote? So he hacked 50,000 printers and had them
yes.
it said print this, and it actually happened.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And
It was
Napster would have never happened if it wouldn't have been for printers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't think we have to be convinced that. And if we wouldn't have had Napster, we wouldn't have ever gotten to streaming. So maybe we should have some hacking going on.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
just saying. Now I'm changing my mind because if Greg thinks like I do, I need to think differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, rats! That
That's
ruined my
okay.
day.
It's all right. Plenty of room up here in the edge.
Art, you should have asked me in the beginning, what do I think about what Greg thinks? I would have said, well, this isn't mellow yellow anymore, baby.
Good. See?
Yeah,
See?
This is
That's what I'm
screaming,
talking about.
screaming demon now.
And what Kevin was asking about, he did put something on LinkedIn the other day, or it was yesterday, I think. It was just
I saw it.
people buy outcomes, not a technology replacement, and that's what he was saying.
Now I remember it.
Take the copier industry. Okay, I'm mad at XYZ brand and XYZ company. So I'm going to go out and improve myself by buying another box that does the exact same thing with a different face and a different promise. How many years has that been going on? In fact, it's been going on so much that the manufacturers have just said, it's like the Beatles, where it was so loud in the stadium, they just stopped singing. They didn't need to because the crowd was so overly stimulated that they didn't need to be doing anything to to drive that stimulation, right? Well, the manufacturers haven't made a new product for what? How many years? It's become a commodity, right? But the customers still think that they're engaged in some kind of a moral outcome, a victory by, well, I just showed them, I changed over to blah, blah, blah. And then 2 weeks from now, after they get it installed, they won't remember the name on the front of it.
And sometimes it's the same manufacturer behind it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you're sell on outcomes versus sell on process and speed. That's a mantra been going on since 1981, and no one's done it, right? I mean, Art, we know this. On the first of the month, you sell solutions. What do you do on the 28th of the month?
You're grabbing to get your revenue, no matter what it is.
Yep.
So all that it was all bullshit to begin with.
Because as Kevin says, your seat is only rented.
How many deals have you ever walked into and if you were to ask the customer, it said before you chose the print strategy you're currently using, what other strategies did you interview? Wouldn't that get you thrown out?
Yeah, no one's got a print strategy.
No, they've all inherited this.
Right.
They literally have no clue those
are the good old days when the left hand didn't know that the right hand was writing contracts, 60-month contracts in 4 different departments with different X dates and different machines and different click rates.
Oh yeah. I mean, but that's, but what's changed today? The buyer, you have IT now. You're not taking them to lunch anymore.
No.
Because they don't socialize, so you have to send it in and hope they ate it.
It gets on a spreadsheet and that's
it. That's exactly right.
Yep. So, but that's the way it's always been. If you could find the jewel that does really believe in buyer-seller relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, and I didn't want to go into, but okay, let's just take some of the things in our world that's changed. So the cloud, that there was some reason that made everybody migrate to cloud technology, right? And that was what? A better outcome.
Was it?
Well, what else would it have been?
Better access.
You don't create a migration across the world unless there's somebody interpreting something from it. It wasn't.
Unless
Quicker
someone put up
access.
guardrails that says we're not going to do on-prem anymore. Great Plains, Solomon, every accounting system in the world, every CRM moves. No, we're not doing it anymore. Oh, okay.
Right.
I got no choice. I'm not going to install 53 different floppy disks anymore. Now that sounds good. That sounds great. So it goes up to the cloud. And then, roll in Microsoft. They can, who is it? Microsoft says the install base determines the infrastructure. So, but they had the install base, so they manipulated that. The cloud only benefited economically the cloud people, right? Even the software packages got enveloped in, and those companies are gone because it all went up to the cloud.
But hasn't everybody been affected by it?
Been affected, yes.
Because even if you don't have it, the assumption in the beginning of any discussion is that you do have it.
Right. Everyone assumes, yeah. But see what happened, this is how AI is impacting, quote, the cloud, and it's personal AI. The cloud applications became one thing for everyone, not just for me. For me, all I need in a Word thing is spell check, table of contents. That's it. I don't need anything else. All I need in a spreadsheet, and I don't even need a spreadsheet, is to add things up left and right. That's it. I don't need algorithms, all that crap. But because I pay $4 a month for the rest of my life, I have access to something I'll never need. And then if you go to HubSpot, if you go to Salesforce, LinkedIn, right? You use 3% of what they say that they can do. And that's ridiculous. That's why these companies have 50,000 employees, 50,000. They do, because the money's rolling in. Anyway, you got me on my soapbox.
Yeah. Art's itching to switch topics here.
Just itching to switch topics. I just want to get through the news, right? Which is good because we bring up different conversations as the news comes across. But Atria is in the news, and that's a manufacturing joint venture of Ricoh, Toshiba Tech, and Oki. I put it in the chat. Has renamed 4 overseas subsidiaries to create a unified global identity under the Atria brand starting July 1st. There's going to be Atria US, Atria France, Atria Thailand, and Atria in Guam. Kevin probably knows this place, Guangdong.
Yeah, those are my nickname in college.
The rebranding is a part of Atria's strategy to establish a single global manufacturing organization supporting its parent companies.
So what does this mean for a non-copy machine guy? It means those 4 manufacturers are going to consolidate manufacturing. They're going to get the same thing and skin them differently?
Well, it could be. It goes on to say that they're going to share manufacturing platforms against product lines, greater economies of scale in production. Maybe they come out faster, more standardized supply chain and component sourcing, where they get their all their parts from. Because again, they're an assembler. They're not a manufacturer. They just design the machine, research the machine, and they outsource all the parts to and then they put the machine together. Faster collaboration of future print technologies, which I don't know about a lot about Ricoh's R&D and Toshiba Tech's R&D and Oki's R&D. I know Oki uses the LED engines, print engines, compared to laser. It says continued investment in common manufacturing infrastructure rather than separate factories for each brand. So does that mean in Thailand and China, there's going to be one manufacturing facility for all 3 of these companies?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
I think Kevin nailed it before you got to it. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. So there's consolidation at the dealer level. There's consolidation at the manufacturing level. It's all survival and reduce costs.
How about consolidation at the
Correct.
technology level?
Yeah.
And it says also the potentially leading to lower production costs.
Mm-hmm.
And that all comes back to the shareholders. So interesting. This Atria thing's been going on for about 3 years now. I spoke to somebody recently, and they thought the first products from Atria are going to reach the market in 6 months.
What will those products be? Will they be?
When I was on a call from Rico a while back ago, they released some new high-end black machines, A3s, but I heard they were only going to be around for a short time. That's all I heard.
Guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna bug out. I got a manufacturer call
All
here in a
right.
few minutes, but
All
the
right,
good news
Kev.
is my stunt double showed up, so you won't even know I'm gone.
Oh my God, where
Okay,
is it?
Kevin.
No
Where is
worries.
it?
Enjoy your day.
Have
Thanks.
a
All
good
right,
weekend,
Kev.
everybody.
Take care. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Big
So,
shoe.
Greg, you said
Big
you had
shoes.
some. You said you had some news on the robotics.
Oh, nothing more than what we've already. It's getting rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. The the Jensen robotics field on the sales side, right? It's just popping up all over the place. It's now's the I think we might have a 12 to 24-month roll here, the way things are going, and the what's encouraging for us is companies are that have been doing robotics for years, and there are a few really don't have the sales chops. Although they're starting to emulate, they were getting. I don't know which ones. I did a whole competitive analysis on all of the. How do we call it? What should we call them? Integrators. They don't manufacture AMRs, but they resell them. So the integrators, they work between them, and they're all not they're all they're all marketing pretty hard, and a lot of them are starting to put in sales infrastructure, sales support nationally, like reps that will support their what they call distributors, right? Where they didn't have that just 12 months ago. So
You
that's
know who
starting to
they need to
happen.
hire, right? Copy
Yeah,
reps.
yeah, they have nothing though. It's very interesting. It's not the people we work with. Hoodoo is well in advance of anything else that I've seen, and they're
Correct.
just starting off. But yeah, well, I tell you what, copier reps would kill it. They would kill it. They would absolutely. It'd be easy. It'd be 10 times easier than copiers, but the same mentality, same thing. Get to the top, do the walkthrough, sell it, lease it. That's another thing I'm noticing as it applies actually to us, is they're all they being the other these integrators, the Robotechs or whatever they're called, those brand names. They're robots as a service, which is just a rental system. And I think you and I looked at the numbers. They're awful high. They're awful high for a rental because the rent, it's like. And the rental model is not something that I don't know how that can. It's like Hertz. Hertz buys a fleet of cars and then rents them.
Right.
Are you gonna buy a fleet of Hoodoos and then rent them? That's capital investment on that. I mean, sure you can finance it and do all this whole math behind that, but that's a lot of as a provider. No one wants to do that. I I, I can't imagine any of our guys. It's like our guys buying 50,000 copiers and then renting them. I mean,
There's a
financially,
couple of dealers that do that.
they do, but they're renting dollar buyouts. They're renting, 36 months
Correct.
in, and yeah. So they're
Well,
not they're not going out and buying a fleet of brand new cannons and saying, "Hey, we'll rent these to you for a week." It's
We
financially
we used to
impossible.
rent scanners at tax time because you'd want them just for a month in
Right.
April and March just to scan all your stuff in. Then you really don't need them the rest of the year, right? So,
Right. So you could I mean scanners are,
mhm.
whatever manufacturing cost in the 1300 or whatever that I don't know what the range would be, but you could certainly gain your cost in one tax season out of
Mhm.
it and then
Mhm.
store it or then resell it as a used and there's a revenue model there or just keep it till next season,
But
right? So you
a
can
cleaning robot you'd want consistently. You just don't want it for one night or a
yeah, that's what I'm
month, right?
saying. Right,
Yeah.
right.
And
I
a
mean,
car, like you said, you use it for a week, right? And then you're done. So that makes sense. But yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
But as a manufacturer, that's a cheap model to get into,
Sure.
right? So I don't need a dealer channel. I don't need
I
all that stuff.
I
Yeah.
seen I seen the robot rent as a service for like humanoids to come to birthday parties, right? So there's very timed events. So if I just need it for a few days or a week, that's cool. It's a gag.
Right.
Okay,
It's a
cool.
gag.
But
Yeah.
if you're going to use it, it's a lease or a purchase, right?
Right. It's almost a hire. Now there's
Hmm.
your temporary thing, but that's it
There you
too.
go.
But yeah, it gets into the capital expense versus uh,
Operating.
operating OpEx versus
Yeah.
CapEx.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that whole thing. I still think our model is the best for it in the long term from B2B.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the copier industry has proven that for a piece of equipment
Yeah.
over the years. It's
Yep.
proven that either fair market value or dollar out works for all parties,
Hmm.
especially based on at least here in the U.S. The tax laws.
Yeah. And then if you consider
I mean,
software,
if you do a RAS service,
Yeah.
and I could be wrong, I don't think I am, but basically you're not purchasing anything. So basically,
No.
IRS is going to consider that as a monthly write-off as a business expense. Where if you were to at the end of the year and get a thousand AMRs, right? That's actually gonna you're gonna take 100% depreciation off of your profit. So if your profit for the year was $500,000 and you immediately leased these machines on a dollar buyout, you could reduce your taxes
right.
by half. So you'd only pay taxes on $500,000 rather than
Right.
paying it on $1 million because you did a $500,000 purchase option lease.
The big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, and the way and based on what we've been seeing come out as RFPs, these are not onesie twosie deals. These are fleets. So, which is a good capital. Boy, that's a really good point. Until they figure it out and stop it. Wow. All right. Yeah. So that's that part on the robots. I haven't seen any new robot, right? But I'll tell you what, these poodoos. Not to go off on another tangent.
I saw something on LinkedIn the other day. I think it was today about brain, and we have a meeting with them, I believe, in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and that's shown the hand, the fingers, and the dexterity of that finger, and all the parts that are gone into that finger, that hand.
There was that's the hardest part to replicate. And Elon even came out with some video that he's developing a hand. He says that's hard to get. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
So, but they're getting there. They're getting.
Even the hardest thing to draw on the human body is the
really.
As Da Vinci said that it's so I don't know if you remember years not that long ago, but the graphics AI generators that would make pictures, the hands you could always tell by how badly the hands looked. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, when they get the hand right, then humanoids are going to burst onto the scene.
That's right.
And that'll be a biological jump. You heard it here. Pneumatics, can't put pneumatics in here or hydraulics. That's not enough room. So it's going to have to your hand. The robot hand's going to have to be grown.
I don't know about that.
I know you don't. Yeah, but there's no. It won't work. I mean, you can't servo motors. Just look at it. There's thousands of tendons, nerve endings.
I understand, but if you get to the point where you can grow a hand, you're going to be able to grow a humanoid.
Really? That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. They're growing meat in San Diego. They've been doing it for years. Skin. Yep. They've been growing skin.
They grow organs. Yeah, they're getting there. They're there.
Saying they got that. What is that? That folding biological machine that manipulates DNA or whatever. That AI protein folding.
Some of them even print organs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Blade Runner world.
Hey, can I throw out an advertisement for our friends at Quasi? I saw a cool video from Automate Show, and it was from In Orbit AI. So go on look in Orbit, and they had a big area where they had a bunch of different robots, and they have orchestration software, but they were actually using the Quasi as example to move stuff around. And on the screen, you could see how it's mapping and how it did its things and cool. So it was two of our good partners. In Orbit AI, which does the orchestration software for different AMRs, not just Quasi, but then they had the Quasi going around too. So it was cool to see that in action. A lot of people probably haven't seen robots in action, and it just showed kind of a real world kind of orchestration. So that was really cool. So look that up on the LinkedIn there.
Yeah, I saw that. And you know what? That's a good point. That's another thing that I've been seeing a lot of out more is more videos.
Mm-hmm.
That came out, but now more and more videos of the poodoos in a warehouse.
Oh my God, all over the place. We saw one. What was it? The dairy factory or something this morning?
Yeah. Bakery. The bakery.
Bakery. Yeah. Yeah.
You think that's a lot of there's flour or whatever.
Did you see the one Pulse did?
Yeah.
Pulse
cleaning half the warehouse was clean, the other half or was that?
PDS. That was
PDS that did that. PDS that did one.
It was a super dusty environment, and it cleaned it up. Yeah.
Pulse had one where it was picking up grease and metal shavings off the floor.
Yeah. They poured oil on the ground. It was like nasty. It was hard, but it did it. So it's not science fiction. It's really happening.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at the very beginning of something big. So that's cool. That was Pulse who did that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
there's a
Yeah,
video.
Pulse. It was out today on LinkedIn.
Excellent. And then AI had some. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kevin. You were still doing
No,
your.
no, no. I was just going to summarize is that, people were impressed with Poodoo, but they got them. And they're even more impressed with the software that was available, the ability to clean things. Right. So they've uh they've over delivered is what I'm seeing. I mean, the
Yeah,
honest to God, real world truth. That's great.
right. That's that's true. I mean, speaking of Poodoo, they've cranked up their marketing machine to where because that stuff was always there. It's not like they announced something new, but it was there. But now they're
Hmm.
starting to get more and more exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's cool. And same with Quasi, right?
Hmm.
Quasi with the what 500-pound payload
Yep.
announcement.
Yeah, C2
Um,
heavy.
Yep.
yeah, yeah. And there's something else with well the show. Right, it's all starting to coagulate, and this is what I've noticed. You guys might cream is starting to rise to the top. That's a good point because we've talked to what maybe 2 dozen robot manufacturers. Tell who the front runners are going
That's
to be,
right.
if not already.
Yep.
Very interesting. On the AI front, OpenAI announced the release of a new update of their LLM. They updated their voice thing, which I think was great before this. And then they've got I don't even know what it is. It's ChatGPT work. From what people have been using it for like 24 hours, and they said this thing is blows away all. There's no they can work in any application
It's so
together.
Anthropic came out with Claude Cowork, and everybody
Yeah.
loves it because it does that. It does work for you. So all of a sudden, OpenAI is going to do the same thing, right? A
From
business
what I've
work. Yeah.
seen, that the OpenAI model is performing a lot better than the Claude
Okay.
model. And Claude they've been getting in trouble because of token restriction. I didn't know this, but a lot of my friends use Claude, and they said they get frustrated because before they know it, they're quote out of tokens, and then
Wow.
their project, which is production oriented,
Uh,
has to stop. Wait, that's customer facing stuff. Yeah.
Tokens. That
Okay.
reminds me of the whole Kofax scanning many, many years ago when you were
uh,
only
Right.
allowed X amount of scans
it's
for
it's
X
like
amount of dollars.
it's pay me, pay me, pay me, or
Mhm.
you're out of business, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All of a sudden, title companies doing production scanning, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden
Oh
they run out of
man.
freaking scans, and
Uh-huh.
it's like the machine stops.
Yep. Oh boy, I have a few customers had to pay a ransom to get it working again. Not
Um,
good.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt if some of that may come to the AMR business. You got to look at leasing companies and finances and how they're going to protect their devices because those devices can be moved off of location. So I think it's something they need to, the copier is pretty tough to
Ooh.
move off of location,
Hmm.
but the AMRs can be moved pretty easily. I'm thinking that
Good point.
maybe there needs to be something reporting back to the leasing companies at some point in
That's
time.
an asset managed. What are those Apple things you just drop on them? So if they leave
That it's located
location.
here, it's not in that environment anymore. But
Hmm.
That's a good point.
even more
Yeah.
important for the leasing company since they own the
Yep.
device.
Right.
I also thought this was something that could be used on copiers, but hell, if you don't pay your frickin' bill, turn the son of a bitch off.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
Turn it off.
That's a slippery slope to me. So you could conceivably shut down all the AMRs.
If they
Conceivably,
don't pay their bill,
if you miss
absolutely.
2 lease payments, we want to shut them down.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I don't pay my TV or my water or my electricity, I get
It
shut
gets shut
off.
off. If
Mhm.
I
That's
don't pay
true.
my car payment, it gets repoed.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah. That's dark, but that's true.
But we do it. You just
Yeah.
don't even question. You don't even question it. You got to pay it, right? If you don't pay your rent, you're evicted, right?
That's
So
true. That's yeah.
Not in New
What I'm
Jersey.
seeing. Well, not in
oh
any of the
God,
Democrat
there's always
states.
exceptions to the rules.
Well, Minnesota, California, New Jersey, New York,
Oh God.
Michigan, all having anyway. Um, yeah, but see that to me is like I don't know if you guys have been watching the auto industry, right? But they have shutoffs now. There's been laws put in place to where your cars will shut off if it thinks you're not able to drive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've
if you're
seen that.
sleepy, then it'll shut you off.
Uh,
If you're intoxicated, then it'll shut you off. If you voted the wrong way, then it'll shut you off. That's the slippery slope.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if we're gonna have a show next Friday because
Why is that, Art?
I'll be traveling.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So I'll be traveling back from PDS. I'm going to their open house on the 23rd in Paris, Kentucky, which is interesting, because I never knew there was a Paris, Kentucky, but there's also a London,
London. There is.
Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's Versailles.
Versailles.
Interesting.
It's. I expect you to give us a full report on how those became.
They got a lot of bourbon too, right?
Oh,
They
well,
do.
bourbon cigars. I plan to have a good time, but it's only going to be a short day. I'll probably stay over Thursday night. Thursday night is the 23rd, and then leave.
Unless we did the show from PDS.
Oh wow, yeah, there you go.
Oh, on Thursday. Well, I think we'll be too busy. I know I'll be too busy.
Or you don't want to publicly broadcast it, one or the other.
It just means I got to work. I was going to use some relaxation and have some
You think
bourbons.
this is work. This
sit
is
down.
work.
We
Don't
wanted
shop.
we wanted to partake too, though.
Yeah, we want to. What is that called? Vicariously.
Vicariously, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely post some videos, and maybe we should do a live show.
That's okay. One way or another. It's
Yeah.
good. Okay. So
What's
next
going
week,
on for the
something
weekend,
good.
everyone? It's 5 after 5, and
Another hot weekend here in Detroit area.
another humid weekend here. Just
Humid, yep.
absolutely, 85% dew points. So it's horrible. It's not hot, but it's just the humidity is.
It's how I
really
remembered
bad.
as a kid. I remember this as a kid in the 70s, man. This is hot. Good time.
Kevin, what do you got going on?
Just decompress. It's been a busy week, so follow up and then get ready for next week. So looking forward to it. A lot of good things happening. It's excitement. People are excited. People are making money. People are doing innovative things. So it's time like no ever. I mean, we keep saying it, but it's happening more and more. It's an exciting time to be alive. It really is.
And Kevin, I can't wait to send you the link for our Robo AMR lead site.
All right. Even another thing to be happy about. All
There's
right.
a lot of good. This Friday was good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
send you that. And again, it's just a
Wow.
demo site. However, it's built for sale.
All right. All
Production
right.
ready. There's a
Okay.
SKU. There's a dollar amount. There's a there's a cost and a sell. Imagine
It's
that.
another benefit. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, good job.
Everyone, thanks
Yeah.
for timing. Thanks for tuning in today. Today is July 10th. The book is out. Whether we'll have a show next Friday or maybe even earlier on Thursday, we'll figure that out. But we like everybody tuning in. Please like, follow, and share. And we'll see you soon.